Marique Moss, co-founder of Mashkiki Studios, is joining us on this episode of Community Connections. I am so humbled to have you join us today.
I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, we are going to talk about the upcoming studio opening. We're going to talk about the work you guys are doing within the community. And then you all have an upcoming event taking place in August 16th.
Yes, very exciting, our store opening.
Right. So we are going to just kind of break down in small pieces the origin story of this whole business, and then we'll transition as we see fit a little further. Now, talk to
Sounds
me about what the word Mashkiki means, Marika.
So, Mashkiki is actually an Ojibwe word. So, here in Minneapolis, we are on traditional Dakota land. And also, there are bands of Ojibwe people. So, it's Dakota communities and Ojibwe bands. I started my small business, Mashkiki Studios, with my partner, Theo Marcel. He is an enrolled member of the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe, as well as White Earth Nation. So, being here in the Woodlands region, we thought we would do Mashkiki Studios, which means medicine in Ojibwe, which is very fitting for us because we're a wellness and educational studio here in Minneapolis.
Now, what led you and your partner to begin the focus around those two specific things, medicine as well as education? These are both very important tools for us as a culture, period. But how did you take those two things and decide to make this the focus?
So, before Mashkiki Studios existed as it is today, me and my partner had our own things going on before we met. So, I had a business that was labeled the Dreaded Hidatsa, and that was a play on my identity. I used to wear my hair in these big faux dreads, and I loved them so much. And Hidatsa is the tribe that I'm affiliated with. I'm Black on my father's side, and I'm an enrolled member of the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation on my mother's side. So, Dreaded Hidatsa, and I specialized in tinctures, wellness products. Oh my gosh, soap, salves, you name it, smokeless smudge sprays. And traditionally, my tribe is an agricultural tribe. So I love plant medicine, our plant relatives in any way, shape, or form. Theo had his own, and it was Mashkiki Studios at that time. When we met, we were like, oh my goodness, let's merge all of this and make it one big, community studio that we all can enjoy here. So he's trained in woodworking. He really is embedded in community here because he grew up is similar like in the Little Earth urban community. So they start their like urban gardening and farming, and it was just a beautiful mix of his what he knew over here in the woodlands and my Hidatsa and Black roots. We're like, let's make an Afro-Indigenous studio. So it just sort of took off from there.
Now, you talked about being Afro Indigenous. Is there a large population of Afro Indigenous right here in the state of Minnesota? Because this is um, one of the few occurrences I can recall up until this point.
So yes and no to that question. And that is a pretty deeply rooted question.
Okay.
And that's just because of things like historical trauma, assimilation, lateral violence. So, people like me who are very set in their identity, who amplify, like, yes, I am Afro Indigenous, I'm very proudly Black, I love to Cupid shuffle, and then we're just dancing in our moccasins over here as enrolled members of, the MHA Nation or wherever you're from. You're proudly rooted, right? And then there are those that are like, well, I'm not sure if I can take up spaces in my native community, or I'm not necessarily sure if I fit within my Black community. So they're definitely there, but they're not vocal about it. And it's not their fault about not being vocal about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to go in and do an overall count, probably some would pick either identifying as Native or identifying as Black. And I know that was me growing up in my past. I was really ashamed of saying that I was Native, um, because there was so many questions bombarding me, like, okay, well, let's see your tribal IDs, let's see your paperwork, who's your family, of which, mind you, I do have all of those things, and I've had them since birth. But even if you are enrolled or connected to your community, you're still going to get those questions based off of the color of your skin. So being Afro-Indigenous it's beautiful, it's messy, it's joyful, it holds grief, but once you learn to accept both of those sides of you, it definitely starts to blossom.
I think that's beautifully stated. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing that with me. Now, I just want to talk about the foundation of Mashkiki Studios. You and your co-founder determined that the nature of this work would be that of a space of culture, healing, and education. What led for you all to say these three things are so important that we want to bring this not only to our community, but also to the state of Minnesota at large?
So we decided on, I guess, sort of the mission statement or the objectives of Mashkiki Studios based off of our own lived experiences and where we've been in our careers. And sometimes it's hard for me to, when someone says, well, what led you to this? And it's sort of like it chose me situation based off of, the roller coasters of emotions and things that I've been through in my life. So we both have a background in teaching Native American and Indigenous studies. That's what I got my degrees in. And I also have a law degree from OU Law focusing in Indigenous peoples law. My partner directs American Indian education out in the Forest Lake area school districts. So we are very education is the goal, but we also decolonize that with our teachings, with our culture, with our knowledge, because Native studies is something that was specifically written out by design. So we're trying to incorporate it back into curriculum. One thing that Mashkiki Studios does is we write curriculum for the state. So, for instance, the state of Minnesota will say, you now need to incorporate Dakota studies into, I don't know, sixth grade US history. That's awesome. That's beautiful. But if the teachers don't know that history, who's going to teach the teachers? And is that going to be accurate? And is it going to be, 4 seconds long of a unit, right? So we like to bring in Dakota knowledge keepers. Let's see, those who do music, beading, you name it. There's so many things that you can embed into your curriculum. And as we were doing this, we were like, it's amazing that we're doing this K through 12, but there's also people in their, adulthoods that have never learned this. And again, it's by design that they didn't learn it because it was written out. So we were like, why not do community workshops? And that has been one of the biggest things that has taken off from Mashkiki Studios. So when we go into our school districts, sometimes we will make medicine bags or we will bead, and there's an entire culture or storytelling history behind that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it would be amazing if an elderberry, or sorry, if an elder would be able to learn this, because there was ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act, and you were taken away from your families. And we've had amazing elders. We've had people from all walks of life saying, this is like a really nice cultural offering. So it's truly everybody is welcome, even non-natives. And that comes from the who's going to teach the teachers. So if you're learning Dakota studies or Ojibwe studies, we invite non-native educators, administrators to come and learn. And that also is very important because we also like to say, who are your native students? So if I'm sitting in class, like in a professional development, I say, do I look like a Native American? And people will go, well, I'm not really sure what that means. But I always say I'm politically, genetically, and legally an American Indian as an enrolled member of the MHA Nation. So it goes really deep into policy, procedures, and we really like to blast that out to the community. And it's really hard to explain like some questions without knowing like a base knowledge of Native studies. So I'm really sorry that was a really long-winded answer.
No, I think you framed it beautifully and also provided some real time examples of being in these different spaces and trying to preserve not only the history and beauty of your people, but also the connection to where we are right now and what's also happening on a large scale with our government. Like you said, okay, if we do put this into history, is it going to be just a small something? And then we also
Yeah,
have to acknowledge the deficit that some of the people that are supposed to be providing instruction don't know.
exactly.
I think it's very well said.
Thank
Um,
you.
there are a few cultural similarities in the African culture and that of the indigenous culture. What has been your experience of being able to celebrate some of those similarities? I know you spoke to your experience during you becoming an adult, and I don't know the timeline on that, if that also happened after you becoming an adult, if you were still trying to reconcile those two worlds. But can you kind of talk about some of those points of celebration for you?
Yes. So I love my community so much with all my heart. It just makes me so smiley because um, the way I see them blending together or have those similarities is community, community, community. We show up for each other no matter, honestly, no matter what. It could be in grief, it could be in happy times. So let's just do this one for example. I just released a book called Sweetgrass and Soul Food, and I made it another play on my identity. And my book release was on Juneteenth, the Freedom Day, or Emancipation. And we were out celebrating, we were all line dancing, we were having so much fun. And then the next day, my hard copy was released. So Juneteenth was my ebook. The hard copy was June 20th, and that's the summer solstice. The summer solstice is very sacred across Indigenous communities, which is pretty similar to, I want to say pretty similar, it's all about freedom and reclamation and rebirth and renewal. So I set those dates intentionally. And I love that one honors my Black identity and the other one honors my Native identity. Both are very much embedded in culture, knowledge, community. Honestly, jewelry beading. My dad is Black, but his roots are from Nigeria. And sometimes I'll wear these big auntie earrings that are long. And some people will think they're native, but I'm like, no, this is my Nigerian kin. But thank you. It's like a everybody takes care of everybody sort of a situation in both communities. At least that's been my experience up thus far.
Understandable. Now, you have shared with us that Mashkiki Studios was going from being just an online store to you all are now launching an event on the 16th of August. What are people going to be able to experience if they attend the opening on the 16th?
Yes. So Mashkiki Studios is opening its first storefront, but it will also be an area for you to sit in, relax, get a consultations, just say hi to some relatives. We want to make it a truly a welcoming space. So not necessarily just a retail space, but come in and ask us questions, right? If you like, this would be an example if someone said, hey, I know I'm from Choctaw. Can you help me reconnect? Using our, connections, educational backgrounds, we can definitely point you into like um, the right direction on how to do that. Or say, like, how do I get so and so enrolled? And we'll take you through the process of that, if eligible, or something like that. Or it could just be a cute elder sitting in the corner drinking a coffee. Come on. But that opens next Saturday, August 16th, from 12 to 5 p.m. We're doing a big launch. We've invited our community members to us. We would be nothing without our community. They have boosted us to where we are today. So we've invited Native, BIPOC vendors all across Minneapolis and the state, honestly. I think someone's coming from Wisconsin, which is amazing. And they're going to be set up along the sidewalk of Mashkiki Studios. And they're going to be selling beaded earrings, ribbon skirts, shirts, jackets. There's Afro-Indigenous businesses there. Um, let's see, lemonade stands. There's going to be Native and Black uncles throwing down on the grill, free food. DJs. Oh my gosh, it's just gonna be like a really awesome community get together. Because again, that's what we're all about. So we really want to share our success with everyone else, and yeah.
Now, is this event free and open to the public?
Yes, this event is definitely free. It's open to anyone. Come say hi. Probably leave with a couple of things in your hand and a whole lot in your heart. So we're really excited about it.
I think that's very powerful. I did also see that on the flyer, you all were saying that people are going to be able to try some of your plant-based medicine. Can you talk to me about some of your favorites? In case someone is not able to make it, they are able to peruse the website like I did before we chatted and start to get familiar with some of the amazing products you guys are offering for sale.
Yes. So we are going to be doing a little taste test. Teas have been very popular this summer with Mashkiki Studios. We actually just had a community workshop about tea blending. I absolutely love that workshop because we're going to have an apothecary wall on one side of our store. So it's going to be native plants here from the woodlands and almost any medicinal herb you could possibly think of. So when we did the tea blending, some people came with migraines, some people came with, menstrual cramps, some people came with, aches and pains due to like rheumatoid arthritis or an autoimmune disorder. And just using our plant knowledge, we were able to make custom tea blends based off of what ails them. And I thought that was really awesome. They had a really good time with that one. So what will be available is sumac sage lemonade, which is
Wow.
delicious. Sumac grows right in your backyards, or um, we get ours from, I believe, Fort Snelling State Park, but you have to be careful because some are deadly.
Uh,
But there's one variation that is safe. So please just don't go around picking sumac.
I
Just
was going to say, let's
I
insert the disclaimer right here. Please
yes.
listen to what Marika just said. Do not go in your backyard picking up things, trying to make tea or lemonade,
For
and end
sure.
up harming
Yes.
yourself or your loved ones. Please talk to
Correct.
a
Exactly.
professional, talk with them, get a consultation if you're able to make it next Saturday, and let them
Yes,
give
for
you the
sure.
proper ones you should deal with.
Yes, yes. We can't emphasize that enough.
I think
Um,
that's very important.
so, yeah, sumac sage lemonade has been very popular. We did a sort of a cider one. I am someone who loves fall and I can't help myself. I see the Halloween stuff coming out already. So I made like a cinnamon, clove, sweetgrass, and sage, like a mold cider situation, and that one was really popular. And I think I'm going to bring that one too. So it's like our little spin on pumpkin spice latte, but it's a tea and
Okay.
iced.
Okay. I like the sound of that already. Anything that can
Yeah.
kind of push pumpkin spice further down the shelf, I'm happy about. It's a little too much for me. Just a little too much.
I like it.
Okay, now I realize we are talking about the opening, but we have not shared the address for people to come out and see you all not only next Saturday, but hopefully every day after that to make sure that you guys stay open.
Yeah, so we are on 30th and Minnehaha, and the address is specifically 3966 Minnehaha Avenue. And if Drip Root is one of your favorite places to go for cold pressed juices, we are around the corner from there.
I think that's a wonderful shout out to those people over there too, but also
Yes,
got a little something for everybody and not too far from one another.
exactly.
It truly does take all kinds. Now, Marika, let me know, how do we continue to support the work of Mashkiki Studios as well as keeping up to date about what we need to be concerned with our neighbors and loved ones that may be indigenous and or Afro-Indigenous.
Yeah, so I would say definitely stay connected with us. Do come into the store, right? If you don't necessarily have to buy anything, but come around, ask us questions. There's a lot of things that I didn't know that I walked into, and I was just like, well, what does this mean? What does this mean? We're happy to answer all questions. We have one of something popular that's in our store is bear grease. That's pure bear fat. We rendered 5 gallons worth of bear fat for community, and that is like a base, similar to like beef tallow, but it has natural anti-inflammatory properties in it that we use. It's one of our oldest traditional medicines. So you can get very random bits of information like that, or support us, share our community workshops, share them far and wide. Those have really been popular and definitely beneficial to the community. And I would honestly just say stay informed. We post all the time about happenings surrounding our Black and Brown communities. Yeah, I would definitely say that. Or, buy a book or anything. You can definitely donate. We have something called mobile Mashkiki, so mobile medicine. And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. We've dropped off medicines out in Duluth to members who needed them for ceremony, funerals. So when we say we're definitely for community, we are for community. And everything that you purchase from us goes back into our community workshop bank, I would say. So every workshop we have, while it is paid, because we're still a small business at the end of the day, we offer 3 to 5 scholarship spots completely free to our community members who might have financial barriers. We realize that's a disparity in our communities, and we don't want people to stress about paying for knowledges that they should have had. But historical trauma, assimilation are all these different barriers. So we want to take down that financial barrier. So we've had several scholarship spots taken, and we love that we can offer that to our community as well.
Now let us know the web address so that people can stay up to the community events you guys are having, but also so they can start to use the online portal and start buying some things, because before cold and flu season even starts, we need to start adding some of this stuff to our personal care routines so that maybe cold and flu season won't be a problem for us.
Yeah, so it's just mashkikistudios.com, MashkikiStudios.com. You can also find us on Instagram. It's Mashkiki_studios, or just Mashkiki Studios on Facebook. Definitely follow us on Facebook. If it's the last thing you do, we do a free giveaway every single month, and all you have to do is engage with the posts that we make. It's very simple. It's very easy. The last thing we gave away was a custom built 4x4 garden bed, and
Oh,
there was
wow.
transplanted sweetgrass and sage in there, and we laser engraved their family name in Ojibwe on the side. So really awesome giveaways. So yeah, definitely follow us.
I think that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Lastly, please provide a personal invitation to viewers that are watching this that are saying, I'd actually like to get a little more connected, or I would like to start trying more holistic and plant-based medicine.
Yes, please. If any of this speaks to you, if any part of Mashkiki Studios speaks to you or resonates with you, we absolutely invite you down into our space. All are definitely welcome. You're safe in our space. No discrimination. There's no dumb questions. We promise. We've heard it all as educators. We truly have. So nothing necessarily scares us. So we definitely welcome anything. DM us. We've got our text on our sites. Email us at mashkikistudios@yahoo.com. Come down and say hi or grab a hot dog and shop around.
It has been a pleasure talking to you, Marique, about the work you guys are doing in the community, but also the upcoming launch for the brick and mortar space. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All the best to you guys next week on the 16th. It'll be next Saturday. Make sure if you are in the area of Minnehaha that you stop over and see them. Make a purchase, let them know your name, who you are. Like she said, there is no dumb questions. And be sure to support community and local business. These people are doing amazing work and deserve to be supported by the community at large.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for this episode of Community Connections, airing right here on OROMIA11. As always, I am your host, Anna Orr, and I look forward to connecting again with you soon.